Hello everyone, it's Amira. Welcome back to my channel. I am so happy you're here. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. I am so happy you decided to drop by. My name is Amira and I love to make cozy videos that kind of feel like you're hanging out with a friend, playing Animal Crossing, decorating. You can throw them on in the background while you're playing Animal Crossing, or while you are doing chores, or while you need to be productive, or if you just need a little bit of company. So if that sounds like something that you like, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join our little cozy community here on YouTube. I don't think you will regret it. Today we are building for my friend Pearl for no real specific reason. I just thought she looked kind of cute, kind of sweet, deserved a little vacay home. And being fully transparent, this build did take me 2 days and I completely finished the interior. I mean, like literally did an entire thing, realized I hated it, and then started from scratch. So I will insert a picture now of what that build originally looked like. For whatever reason, I went with these really dark colors. I'm not 100% sure why. I wanted to give her like this little spa thing. And I was trying to push myself out of my comfort zone with using all these like dark and moody colors. And I mean, I feel like it's cool, but it's just not something that I like. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it at all. I finished it and I was like, well, I kind of hate it though. So I deleted the entire thing and restarted. So now that brings us to this build. And as you can see, I wanted to kind of keep that same sort of feature window wall happening with some partition walls and pillars, but I did it in a much lighter color scheme. And I was actually thinking about this one tour that I saw from Katie Coziway years ago. She toured this island. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember what the theme was. All I remember about this tour is that every single interior had this same feature wall of this like desert. I just keep calling it Arizona in my head. I've never been to Arizona, so if you're from Arizona and that's not what it looks like, that's fine. In my head, that's Arizona for now, okay? Anyways, all of the interiors on this island that Katie toured had a feature wall that looked like they had this in their backyard. And for whatever reason, I could not get that out of my head. I don't know where it popped into my head in the first place. And so since I wanted to keep going with that same sort of window feature, I decided to do it with this and then keep it very minimal. I'm not really sure again where the inspiration from this came from, but that's what I do. I end up making this sort of indoor-outdoor living situation. So right now you're seeing me try to put together a dining room. And I do actually really love this layout. It does change, but I love the little nook with the bookcase there and then with the dining table right there. I do my like favorite little trick now of using the Nordic low board as a bench for a dining table. And then I really wanted to go like, have you seen that trend in interior design right now that's like very Scandinavian, Scandi, I think is what they call it. So I wanted to use a lot of the Nordic items because I felt like that really mimicked that whole sort of style really, really well. And then I decided maybe I should move the dining table to the other side. I really wanted to use this cow rug. I felt like, again, if I'm aiming for like minimal Arizona, is that a theme? Is that a core? Minimal Arizona core? I really wanted to use this rug and I couldn't make that work, unfortunately, but I thought that really would have been cute. So I moved the dining table back. I try a bunch of different sort of layouts here, but what ends up happening is I move the whole dining room over to like the right, but it's facing the window because again, I'm trying to mimic this whole like indoor-outdoor living situation, which I don't see a ton of here in Minnesota, but from a lot of like home tours that I've seen from places where the weather is much nicer all year round, there are some homes that have these big giant windows that open up completely, or I guess they're more like doors, and they turn the dining room into like this whole thing where you can walk outside and eat, or you can stay inside, and it kind of feels like one big space, and like all of a sudden you're outside. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to try to find some pictures and kind of insert them here. But that is kind of what I was going for. Like if they're going to have this big, beautiful backyard with that view, I want them to be able to enjoy it. So I tried to mimic that whole situation. And I think the whole thing ends up turning out super, super cute. My husband said that this is probably one of the coolest interiors that he thinks I've ever done. I think he said that about the exterior too, but I don't remember. I do know that he really thought that the interior was really, really cool. So I always take that as a compliment because he sees pretty much every single build that I do. And I kind of agree. I feel like this is so out of my comfort zone, which is what I wanted, but in a more Amira sort of way. Now you're going to see me play around with the layout a lot more. I really liked the idea. Oh, I completely forgot I did this. When messing around with the layout, wanted to really sort of explore the whole like outdoor living situation a little bit more. And so I ended up creating this sort of built-in patio, and I put the string lights over there. And then this is where I think I'll move the whole table over to the right. And I create a whole little patio for her. And I think this turns out so cool. I feel like the illusion ends up really, really working here. I very rarely do builds like this. I don't know if I've honestly ever done a build like this where I do an illusion sort of thing where it looks like they have a patio, or it looks like there's more space outside that you could walk into. I don't know. I've never really done anything like that before, but I feel like the whole thing, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I kind of blew my own mind here. I really, really like the way that this turned out. I end up filling out that little patio space even behind the partition wall because I couldn't get myself to just like leave it empty. So I put like some laundry hanging behind the partition wall. And then I put these cacti out there kind of peeking out from behind the wooden pillars, and I loved the way that looked. You will see me go back and forth on the placements of these stupid cacti for way too long. That takes me so long to figure out. Like I could not get like the angle of them right. I don't know. It felt awkward to me. Eventually I just leave it alone and I call it good, but I do go back and forth on that for a while. And I think they look so nice, like kind of peeking out. I feel like it brings the landscape of the wallpaper to life a little bit more, and it makes it more into a 3D. It makes it feel more realistic than just a 2D wallpaper, if that makes any sort of sense. So we'll kind of watch me fiddle around with those cacti for what feels like an embarrassing amount of time while we discuss the Nintendo Direct that dropped a few days ago from the day that you're seeing this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed. And to be honest with you, I should expect disappointment every single time I watch a new Nintendo Direct because I play all of 3 games, okay? I play Animal Crossing, I play The Sims, and I play Stardew Valley with the occasional Mario game. So obviously I'm excited about Mario Kart because that will forever be one of my favorite games. If there's a new 3D Mario that comes out, I'll be excited for that. But the main 3 games that I play are Animal Crossing, Sims, and Stardew Valley. And so obviously they're not going to have announcements for those. Nintendo isn't going to have a Sims announcement. And even if the Sims 4 releases on the Switch 2, I probably wouldn't play it on there. I need to play it on a computer. So that's never going to happen for me in a Direct. Stardew Valley, they just got that big update. And I don't think that's ever really been announced in a Direct. I feel like Concerned Ape just kind of does his own thing there. So really, every single time I watch a Direct, I'm just waiting for an Animal Crossing announcement. And obviously that can't happen every single time. So I just need to like cool my expectations a little bit. But here's the thing. I think I've cracked the code. This is my final prediction for Animal Crossing. I'm locking it in. Let me know what your thoughts are because I really think I figured it out. Okay, at first, I, like so many of you, was very, very disappointed that we did not get even like any sort of recognition of Animal Crossing. They didn't even mention it, okay? That was disappointing. Then, I feel like I went through like the 5 stages of grief here. Then I got kind of mad because what they did with Zelda, how they're like upscaling it and they're doing a whole like new thing. I don't know, what are they doing DLC for Zelda? Or maybe that's just Mario Party. I don't know. They're doing like added on content for the Switch 2. Then I was like, that's what they're going to do for Animal Crossing. All they're going to do is upscale it, add like a few new items, and then call it good for the Switch 2. Nope, that's not what they're going to do. And let me tell you why. We're going to get a new game, and we're going to get it next year because the original Animal Crossing came out in 2021. So 2026 would be the 25th Animal Crossing anniversary. So my official prediction is that we'll get a new game. We will get a 25th anniversary Animal Crossing Special Edition Nintendo Switch 2 console. And I think that is when they're also going to put the original Animal Crossing on like the GameCube online. Did you see that? How like we're going to have access now with Nintendo Switch online to like some GameCube games that they're putting on there. And I was looking for the Animal Crossing game. I was like, why? They're not even putting that online? No, because I swear they're going to release it. They're going to do a whole 25th anniversary thing in 2026. And we're going to get a new game. We're going to get a console. And they're going to put the original GameCube game on Nintendo Switch Online so we can play that. That's my prediction. I have my hands up right now. Let me know what your thoughts are. I feel like that's a really solid prediction on my part. And I think that's why they didn't even acknowledge it. I don't think that they're going to do a whole upscaled thing. I guess they might. Like, maybe they might upscale it for the Nintendo Switch 2 along with that whole thing. But yeah, I don't think we're going to hear anything for a while. We'll probably get a whole big happy birthday Animal Crossing Direct, and we'll get all of that stuff. That's my prediction. Because if they release a game now, then when the 25th anniversary comes up, they're going to have nothing. They're not going to have any way to celebrate it, and it'll be just kind of bland. So those are my thoughts. Do with that what you will. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I swear on it. I have my hands up. I swear. My hand is on my heart. That is what my prediction is. Okay, back to the build, because I finished that whole interior while I was talking about what my prediction is. I think the interior came out so cute. And I then end up having the time of day be like at sunset or golden hour, so that inside it looks all glowy and stuff. I hope you can kind of see the vision. Again, for the interior, I was going very minimal Arizona core. And I think I pulled that off. Now, I will say the minimalism does not follow us outside, okay? So get rid of the minimalism expectations, because we go full on desert out here. And it doesn't, okay, when I came outside, I had no idea what I was doing. And I did move her to like 4 different lots. I spent like an hour deciding on where I wanted her to live, and I wanted it to be the desert so bad, which obviously I ended up on. But I don't know, I felt like the sand kind of looked awkward. I wish it was more dirt, you know what I mean? Like, obviously people in the desert, there is sand, but like, you know, you guys out in Arizona aren't just like walking on sand all the time. I feel like it's more just like dry dirt most of the time. Again, I've never been out there, but I feel like that's what it is. It's not just like sand, you know? We're not in the Sahara Desert necessarily. We're just on some dry land. That's what I wish it was more. So I used the dirt code. I did move around so many different times. I even tried just doing a grassy lot and then changing it to autumn, so it was more like orangey brown, and I didn't really like that either. So we ended up back here, and I do think it ends up turning out really nicely. Again, something completely out of my comfort zone, completely different for me. I use, obviously, so many more cacti out here. I wasn't planning on using those funky looking trees because I feel like they kind of give more Sahara Desert Africa than they do minimal Arizona core. But I felt like I needed something other than the cacti, and the regular trees obviously would look weird. So we went with these, and I feel like they do work really well. The exterior came together so fast, like the actual colors of the home. Could you clap for me, please? Because normally I spend so freaking long on that, and I like snap, got that down. The exterior actually came together relatively fast. I end up putting this whole like outdoor movie theater thing happening over to the right, with like some cushions. I try blankets. That doesn't really work out, especially with like the coloring of the sand and stuff. And all of the codes that I have on this Switch are very cottagecore, and this is not a cottagecore build. So the blanket codes I had didn't really work. Instead, I extend the dirt path a little bit, and I have some cushions, and we do some string lights, which I don't think I've put behind there yet. And then to the left, I just keep it very natural with more cacti, more trees, and I end up interspersing purple mums. I tried the white ones, and then I was like, no, purple, because there is a shade that you can like, or not a shade, a swatch of the cacti that you can change it to that has like little pink flowers like blooming on there. And I could have used the pink mums, I guess, but I just felt like the purple added more of a pop. And so that's why I use those to kind of mimic like cactus blooms, the little flowers that kind of bloom on cacti sometimes. And so I put a few purple mums, not a lot. I think I put like 4 or 5. And I think the whole thing ends up turning out super, super pretty. This is when it starts to like really start to come together, again with the different cushions. I go back and forth on the coloring. And I think I might end up getting rid of the Moroccan footrests and I put out just like the regular floor cushion, but don't quote me on that. I guess we'll see in a little bit. Overall, I love where we ended up with this build. It's so funny to look back at that finished build that I showed you at the very beginning and know that like we have completely switched gears and I hated it, so I made something else. I was telling my husband last night, this is like one of the main reasons I love Animal Crossing. It provides me a creative outlet, which I so desperately need in my life, but with like a no risk, nothing to lose situation. The main reason that I'm not really big into crafting, other than the fact that it's messy and I struggle with messes, is mainly because of my like paralyzing perfectionism. I'm so terrified to choose the wrong color or do the wrong thing and have to like completely start over. Even coloring, which I love coloring, but I will spend an agonizing amount of time picking out the right shade of green for a tree. And I know it's not that serious, but my perfectionism is paralyzing in that aspect, especially when it comes to creative things, because I just feel like it needs to be perfect. In Animal Crossing, that's really not there, because if I hate it, I can just press a button and start over. It doesn't make a mess. I don't have to throw the whole thing away. I can move things around at will and spend 20 minutes, moving around a floor cushion or a tree or a cactus, and there's nothing to lose. No harm, no foul, no mess. It's just so easy for me to get in my head with that kind of stuff, and I love this game for kind of quieting those voices and allowing me to be a perfectionism as much as I want without the risk of, or the fear of having to start over or throw it away or doing the wrong thing. So I'll get off my little soapbox on that, but I just kind of wanted to share, my love for this game. And I get it if you struggle with perfectionism, because I do too. Okay, I think it is time to start saying our goodbyes. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. It really would mean the world to me. I post new videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Wednesdays are build videos on my own island. Fridays are Happy Home Paradise speed builds like the one that you just watched. And Sundays are island tours. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on my predictions for the new Animal Crossing game, and maybe an announcement next year for the 25th anniversary. I would love to hear if you have different thoughts, different predictions. I just am so curious to know what everybody thinks. I do feel like my prediction is pretty solid though. I would also like to quickly thank all of my members. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You mean the absolute world to me. I will never be able to express my gratitude and my love for all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Other than that, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you are all having the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I will leave you all here with some screenshots of the final build, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Goodbye.